Darren Stevens scored his first 100 of the season, and it was made off only 94 balls as Kent started their latest LV County Championship match at home to Essex in a very solid manner, with Brendan Nash and Daniel Bell-Drummond also helping themselves to 50s. After a slight delay because of morning rain, Kent batted after winning the toss, and Bell-Drummond got the ball rolling for his team with an early boundary off Tom Moore. James Foster produced a clever bit of captaincy, calling on Jesse Ryder to come on as early as the 7th over. The Kiwi rewarded his skipper in his second over as Rob Key had a drive but edged to Tom Wesley after making 10. Ryder then lolloped in to deliver a beauty which was too good for Sam Northeast, who was bowled for 2 with the score on 35 for 2. It was tough going initially for Kent, with the Essex attack bowling some tight lines, which made life tough for Nash early on. After Ryder came off with figures of 2 for 11 from a 7-over spell, he was replaced by Ravi Bopara, who also found some movement to very nearly trap Nash in front. Essex were unable to call upon their hero from last week, Reece Topley, because of a sore knee, but they did recall another left-armer in the form of Monty Panesar, who was on before lunch. Nash got the better of him to begin with a couple of well-placed cuts as the left-hander began to get on top of things prior to the break. Even the returning David Masters went without a wicket when play resumed, with the home side on 71 for 2. Bopara was denied a wicket when Bell-Drummond on 30 was put down in the slips. A fairly comfortable opportunity. The miss was to prove to be quite expensive too. While Bell-Drummond worked hard for his runs, Nash played with a bit more freedom, and he was first to his 50, which was made off just 56 deliveries with 8 fours included. Nash had moved past 400 championship runs in this innings, which brought him his third half-century score of the summer. He continued to dominate the scoring as this pair carried their partnership into 3 figures, with Nash moving into the 70s with some more fine shots. It was like watching 2 different contests at each end, with the left-hander playing some shots while his partner continued to dig in at the other end. This straight drive off Ryder brought the youngster only his third 4 in the 38th over of the innings. He was playing the anchor role well. Matt Salisbury started the game as a substitute fielder as Timal Mills was called into the side late to replace him, and the left-arm quick struck immediately after he was brought into the attack in the 46th over. Nash on 82 took him on but top-edged, allowing Foster to sprint to take a fine running catch. Mills then nearly also picked up the wicket of Bell-Drummond. This edge flew through the hands of Ben Foakes in the gully to bring the batsman the 4 runs he needed to complete his 50. He required 131 deliveries to get there, and that was just his 4th boundary. He'd really been made to work for his 3rd half-century of the campaign. Kent were then knocked back by an injury to Ben Harmison, who was forced to retire hurt with just 2 runs to his name after being struck a nasty blow on the hand by Mills. But that brought in Stevens, who was soon playing some handsome shots. He lost Bell-Drummond at the other end with a total on 173 for 4. Ryder with the LBW for his 3rd wicket, which removed the opener for 56, which was made off 172 balls. The 7th of 8 bowlers employed by Foster was Ryan Tenduskarta, back from India for his first championship game of the season. His very first ball was pulled for a 6 by Stevens. The all-rounder was soon moving through the numbers in partnership with Sam Billings. With Stevens scoring the majority of the runs, these two were able to add 49 in 9 overs to take the total onto all the 2s, with Stevens often simply caressing the ball to the rope. Tenduskarta grabbed his first wicket of the summer, Billings the man to be bowled on 9. The match was, at this stage, very evenly balanced. Stevens had not managed a single 50 in 9 championship innings so far this summer prior to this one, yet he needed only 52 balls to be raising his bat on this occasion. From those, he'd struck 8 4s and 1 6 and was looking in a very good place to go on further. And go on he did. He particularly enjoyed himself against the bowling of Panesar, who was proving to be a little expensive in this spell. Adam Ball was also beginning to look good, but it was Stevens who continued to score the lion's share of the runs, as this partnership began to develop rather nicely as far as the home side were concerned. The 38-year-old Stevens rarely missed out on balls to hit. This brought him his 2nd maximum, while his 3rd was struck off Panesar as Stevens closed in on a magnificent 100. He's been waiting a while for knocks such as this year, but he was clearly enjoying himself now. He wasted no time at all in the 90s as he went after Mills, hitting him for 3 fours in a single over to post a quite brilliant 100 off just 94 deliveries. 15 fours and 3 sixes were included in what was the 29th three-figure score of his career. His partnership with Ball was ended on 95, the runs coming in only 19 overs, when the latter gave Ryder his 4th wicket of the day to go for 30. Again, there was just enough movement off the pitch. And the first ever fifer of Ryder's career followed in his next over as Stevens departed for 105, slicing a hit to third man. Ryder was not known too much for his bowling, but Foster's decision to give him many overs here had paid dividends. Stevens was out with a total on 320, and with a delayed start and the fact that this game wasn't due to get underway until midday, play went on to just before 8 o'clock, with Mitch Claydon and Adam Riley seeing out the final 9 overs. That took Kent to a score of 344 for 7 at the close, Ryder ending with figures of 5 for 50 from 21 overs, an excellent day for the medium pacer. Kent will look to get somewhere near 400 when play resumes on the second morning.